My name is Jimmy Vigil. I'm a Class 10 graduate from the Prison Entrepreneurship Program. I was released on January 29th, a couple of weeks ago. I just started working my job. I'm an assistant supervisor at Custom Rubbers, and I'm about to get married in 2 days. Going through the PEP program was not only a character changing, but it was a life-changing experience. We were about 100 participants, and out of them 100 participants, after the character assessments during PEP, I was one of 37 graduates. And the reason that we have a character assessment is that it teaches us certain flaws about ourselves. Sometimes it helps when other people kind of mirror. You know, you can't always look into your own self to see what's wrong with you, but you know, your brothers that are you living with, they kind of see things that you might not see, and they bring it to your attention. And those that want to work on it, those that want to continue improving their life, work on it. And those that don't, well, they get separated by the program because they refuse to change. It's the small things that they ask us to give up, which are consequence trails to something greater, which led us into criminal activity. So they do a lot with us on that, on character. They teach us a lot about entrepreneurship, but they also teach us a lot about family, about being good husbands, good fathers to our kids. And it's an intense course. It's at an MBA level. Our class was 4 months long. They teach us everything from business vocabulary to AP style. We have a business plan competition. So during class, every week we're putting pieces of our business plan together. And at the end of graduation, they have a business plan competition. Whoever gives the best business plan. We present our business plan to about 150 different peer panels. So you have, and the peer panels consist of different kind of executives and CEOs that come in there and judge us and give us good feedback on our business plans, how we can improve them, and what we're lacking at. It's a good experience. What touched me about PEP on the day of graduation, my wife that I'm about to marry, they were unable to come down here from Chicago, and the heart that PEP has, and the heart that, because of the executives and the donors and stuff like that, they actually flew my wife and my son to graduation, and that was the first time I met my son. Because when I went to prison, he wasn't ready yet.
He was in utero.
Yeah, and so they flew him down there, and they did the hotel thing, and graduation, I got to meet him for the first time, and I'll tell you a little bit about graduation. As I was walking down the aisle, my son shot out from the stand where they're sitting at and just hugged me and said, "Dad, I love you and I'm so proud of you." And that right there was the moment that I knew that I made the right decision in my life to do the right thing. It was just the confirmation that I really needed. And it's been awesome. I came out here, and they have the internet access here where you can apply for jobs online. Some brothers have job leads, and my 13th day out, I was already employed. So
the brotherhood's very important of what you established there.
Yes, not only in there, but out here, because in there is good because we live with each other, I think, but out here in the free world is like really the challenge, because sticking together is the most important part. Accountability is constantly stressed on our behalf, and integrity with ourselves and with each other. And it's good to be around the brothers that you were in here, in prison with, out here, because
they're your new network.
Yes, they're our new network, and we get together.
Support group.
Yes, we get together and we go out bowling, and we go out to eat, and we spend time with our families. And in case anybody's questioning over to know, none of us do alcohol. And none of our old lifestyles.
It's coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and it's just, I think that's that motivation, and that's that little link to the chain that you need with your brothers from in there out here. And I mean, when I came out here, it was awesome because everybody's together and everybody's in one accord, and if you need anything...
Nobody expects when they're in prison to have that connection when you leave, I don't think. You know, PEP allowed that, right, where the regular prison program doesn't support.
Well, PEP is the only prison program in the United States that has an aftercare, or as you want to call it, or re-entry to society. And like, I'm on an electronic device, and I'm at one of the PEP halfway houses, and that helps because we're giving $100 when we get out of prison, a one-way bus ticket, and told, all right, go make it. So I mean, a lot of us don't have homes to go to. Some of us burned in bridges, as you can say, at one point in time. So you're released back into the same community that you committed your crime in, and with nothing, just with the clothes that you have on your back, no kind of hygiene or nothing. And you know, PEP, when we get out, they give us a care package, and it's a big duffel bag, and it's got a pillow and all the hygiene products that we're going to need, say, for the first 60 days. And it's got toilet paper, boxers, shirts.
We saw the
Yeah,
package.
it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
just and it's because of the people that believe so much in us.
That's part of the love.
Yeah, it is. And then if clothes to wear, besides the clothes that we come out of prison with, and suits, so we can go to interviews. And it's just it's a constant reminder that
They're there
not
for
gonna-
you.
Yeah, they're not gonna let us go no matter what.
Mhm.
And it's awesome. I love it with all my heart. As you said earlier, my email address has PEP on it because that's just how much I believe in the program.
Right. Amen. Awesome. Well, is there anything else in closing that you would like to, to acknowledge? I mean, it seems like, obviously the program made you a better person.
Right.
And probably there's no reason to doubt why the recidivism changes for PP graduates so drastically.
Well, I'll tell you why it changes, why the recidivism rate is so low. Because not only do they teach us about entrepreneurship, but they teach us about ourselves. We get to look at ourselves, and they teach us a lot about character. In a business environment, in a family environment, and even on a personal level, you really want to get in touch with our spiritual side or not. So it's an all-around aspect.
Right.
It's just not focused on one thing.
One of the gentlemen yesterday mentioned while we were on the facility in the PP program, said, I thought I was ready to get out into the world, ready to get out of prison after 8 or 9 years. He felt like a whole person, but he didn't realize until he went to PP how much he was lacking to get into the real world. So a lot of testament right there.
Yeah, in the real world, it's hard out here. It is, especially with, I did 9.5 years, and when you got that felony and you put that on
right
application, it's very hard to get a job. But we also go through interviewing skills in there. I mean, they teach us everything that we need to know to make it in society and doing the right thing. And I tell you what, Home Depot didn't want to hire no kind of felons, and I went in there, and the job wasn't for me, but I got the job. It was just too far, right? And I got another job offer, so I chose the other job. But one of the brothers went to Home Depot and applied, and then told the guy he was a PP graduate, and they hired him.
I knew that had to be a big, strong testimony.
So, yes, it was, and it was like I think God just used me in that way to open up the door. And then I told my brother, hey, well, they're hiring over here. Go over there and tell them, you're for entrepreneurship, and go through an interview process. And he was hired like immediately. So it's just to show that
that's
the impact
wonderful.
that we have on other people affects us all. So I mean, it's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
And one of the other gentlemen mentioned yesterday that he is thankful to have went through the prison system. He was in 3.5 years,
Right.
and then got to go into PP because he felt like had he been out in society, he would still be a menace.
Yes. Well, we all make mistakes. What separates a person with a felony from a person that doesn't have a felony is a simple choice. You can be driving home from a wedding reception or a party or a club or out with your husband having a drink for dinner and get pulled over, and guess what? You have alcohol in your system, and you're driving underneath the influence, and you go to prison. So it's just a small choice that you make now. Even here in Texas, they really enforce the DUI, and you can get up to 10 years in prison. So we've learned that every situation that we're in, we have a choice to make. We can go all the way left or all the way right. And the entrepreneurship teaches us to think a little bit ahead of time before we make any kind of choices.
Yeah, I think for most people, and I've worked so often with young people, but it's always about seeing what do you have to set your next step for the very end in mind.
Right.
You really have to look at what do you want to be as the end result of your life, and what are the steps that you need to take to get you to that end result.
Well, we call it a consequence trail. And before we get out, we put together a consequence trail on women, and we put a consequence trail on our behavior. And
Very cool.
What will lead you to that? And after there, how would that affect you? And like a lot of the stuff that we put down, if it leads you either dead or back in prison, then that's the wrong road to take.
Amen.
So like every time I make a decision, I sit down and I write my
Look at
little
your
consequence
consequences.
trail. Yeah, when I make a consequence trail of that certain situation and see how it's going to benefit me or see how it's going to affect me.
I'm going to close out this, Jimmy. I appreciate so much of what you've given,
No
and
problem.
thank you.